couple of days ago we were given a job matrix for a bogie overhaul, and as promised we've used the job matrix to come up with a wrap system to make an online data capture facility for the project. So this was the job matrix we were given. We've actually changed that slightly, so we're in Excel now. I've changed that slightly to fit our kind of format, but basically what a job matrix is a list of tasks that need to be done, a competence that is required to do a job, there's some target hours, there's a start time for each of 8 rakes. So on this particular train there are 8 bogie rakes, and the work's going to be done at station 1. So all this information is to do with planning. Then we've got some prerequisite information, which is any consumables going to be used, any kit going to be used, and there's a few more things here as we go across. This is, are we going to record a serial number or a mod level? Are we going to measure anything? If we are going to measure something, then what is it? What's the units? Are we using calibrated equipment? What's the minimum allowable value and maximum allowable value? And here's 3 buddy checks here. And this one's if we're going to raise a special workflow. So a special workflow is a custom form basically. So we can, contained in this matrix is tells us everything we need to collect for our job, so for our sign-off rather. So if I go to the next one, which is our generic sign-off form, which if I can just find it, and I can't find it, it doesn't seem to be there, I might not have got it open. It's not there. Let me go to open sign-off form. Okay, this is the generic sign-off form. So what this is going to do, you can notice that these titles here correspond to the column headings in the matrix. And if a consumable is required, then we're going to show this particular box. If a serial number is to be collected, we're going to show this box. If a mod level is to be collected, we're going to show that. If something's going to be measured, then we're going to enter it here, and we're going to sign to say that we've done it there. Calibrated equipment. So all these things are going to appear or not appear depending upon whether it's required for sign-off. There's some other information down here as well, which is to put the job on hold and to restart the job, so we can do that. And down here we have a number of competencies that are required for sign-off. So if it's a job that requires a mechanical competence, then this will be showing. Now on this tab here I've got a links tab, and this is going to pull for me all the information I need from the job matrix, and in fact everything's being driven by the information that I'm pulling from the job matrix there. So let's have a look at see how that works in practice. Bogies, I've got a project set up here, so if I go, this is a fleet map, it's showing all the units in the fleet, and we've only actually done any work on the first one, it's just a trial system. This is the start date of the job matrix, and we're using job matrix number 1 because we might change this job specification. We might want to invoke job matrix number 2, number 3, etc, etc. But let's see how we're doing with this particular job matrix by going to find out this 2% progress. Now the 2% progress will be highlighted, so it's 2.9%. So if I just go bounce back there, I think I've completed the job. What happens is that as you bounce through these things, they get updated. So that 2.9% has come through to there now. But if we click into there, where's the 2.9% come from? It's come from here, the overall unit progress, because we have 4 units and 8 bogies. In fact, at the moment we've only doing work on bogie 1 just for the trial system. So in fact we've got we can go to the list of jobs for stage 1 of bogie 1. So if I go there, this will give me a list of all the open jobs, the live jobs. They're all the open jobs. So you can see that this starts at job number 2. So job number 1 and job number 3 has been completed already. If we go into this job here, we'll see how the sign-off form morphs into the shape it needs to be to allow sign-off. So in fact, all this requires is someone to start the job, and we have to add the team and we can put some comments and we pass it. So that we're not requiring anything very much. Let's find maybe a slightly more interesting job. If I go back to my job matrix on the spreadsheet, and I think that's here. If I go to this job here, which will be job ID 18 or 19, I'll see if there's a job 18 or 19. Not on that one there. I think it must be a stage 2 job. In fact, I could look to see what stage it is. It is a stage 2 job. So if I go to stage 2 jobs, and I want to go to job 19, that was one of those that required a torque setting. So I'm going to click into there to get to the morphing sign-off page, and we can see now we've revealed a little bit more than the previous form. So what we've revealed is that a torque is going to be measured, and we're going to record calibrated equipment. So let's get on and fill this in. First thing we have to do is sign to say that we're ready to start, because there might be some additional arising work stopping us working, or we might have some questions to ask. So this is a production query. We can raise a production query form using this button. We can raise an additional arising work wrap using this button. Let's assume we can just crack on. So I'm logged in as crash test dummy, CTD. So I've got to put my username and password in to get a signature. I think I misspelled that actually. So you've got to put your correct password in. Okay, that's worked a little bit better. And these ticks and crosses are basically going to guide me through as to what I need to do. So at the moment it's saying, I'm just not happy with having a team size of 0. Well, okay, let's put some people in the team. At the moment, we've only got 2 people in the work group. So the work group is the bogey work group, and there's crash test dummy and there's David Hutchins. So I'm going to say I'm working with David, and I'm going to put in the torque here. I can't remember what the torque needs to be. It's job 19. So it's telling me that we need to have a. Let me just grab this a bit quicker. So between 250 and 262 torques, so I'm going to put 255 in, which should be acceptable. So if I click into that, that is acceptable. And if you notice that is now allowing me to sign that off. If I put the wrong value in here, 150, then I can't sign that off. So let's go back to the 255, go into there, and I'll click into there, and again I get a chance to sign this off. Okay, that's done. Calibrated equipment, yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, say. Oh, sorry, I think I've my shift lock on there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's okay, it's happy with that, and it's now saying, well, did you pass it? Is everything okay? Everything passed, everything's okay. And at that point here, when everything's done, I get a chance to sign off the final signature, and this final signature has a dot next to it, because when I sign this, all the data is going to be locked down to prevent anybody altering a form that I've signed. So in fact, there you go, and it's saying that this is signed and frozen. And if there was a problem with this, if we had to go back, it says supervisors may unsign. So a supervisor could come back and unsign this if required. But if I bounce back now, we will see that job 19 won't appear in the list because it's been done. So we go straight from 17 to 20. So we've also done job number 18 as well. So there's a couple of jobs that have been done. The other thing that we might want to do is we might want to chart these jobs. So if we chart these jobs, we get a little Gantt chart of when things happened. So to make this a bit more interesting, this is the initialization point of those forms. So I'm going to just have a look at any. So I think we'll be able to see the jobs that have been done. So some of the jobs that have been done are already in the system here. So there's job 19, a bit more interesting for the Gantt chart. Or you might prefer a tabular view as well. So we've got a great way now of going from basically one spreadsheet and one morphing sign-off spreadsheet, and we've managed to fully automate this data collection system for bogey overhaul. So hopefully that's, and we've done it all in a couple of days. So we rolled this out really fast.